Jinger Duggar didn't learn to swim as a kid due to modesty rules, a long skirt swimmer sinks. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. For Duggar family latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. 19 kids and counting. Jinger Duggar's latest book reveals some unexpected details about the effects of her ultra-conservative upbringing. In People Pleaser, Breaking Free from the Burden of Imaginary Expectations, which debuted Tuesday, January 14, the 31-year-old revealed that she didn't learn to swim as a kid due to the constraints of her family's modest wardrobe. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar raised their 19 children as followers of the Institute in basic life principles, with women expected to wear dresses or skirts falling at least to knee length. Since I was a little girl, I wanted to know what it felt like to push myself through the water, to swing my arms and kick my legs to keep me at the surface. But I didn't know how, Jinger wrote. Here's what I did know for sure: long skirts were not designed for learning how to swim. Jinger went on to joke that the laws of physics, gravity and buoyancy don't play well with long skirts, explaining that she gave swimming a try when she was younger and it didn't go well. Another way of saying long skirt swimmer is one who sinks, she added. And because long skirts were the only swimming fashion available to me as a kid, and because I had a thing about not wanting to sink, the skill of swimming was not something I picked up during that time. Every time a Duggar child broke their family rules, Jinger wearing pants and beyond. The former reality star admitted that being around water of all kinds felt scary without knowing how to swim. As an adult, however, Jinger has begun to dip a toe in since welcoming daughters Felicity, 6, and Evangeline, 4, with husband Jeremy Vuolo. Jinger announced in October 2024 that she's pregnant with the pair's third baby. "I want my kids to know how to swim. I want them to know that I can too," Jinger wrote. "But I was still so scared, thinking back to the few times I'd tried as a kid, the long skirt encasing my flailing legs." Jinger was initially hesitant to try again. Her people-pleasing tendencies made her scared to fail, but she found comfort in a friend named Rebecca, who helped her learn. "We're still at it, my swimming lessons, taking it baby step by baby step, or maybe I should say baby lap by baby lap," Jinger wrote. People Pleaser isn't the first time Jinger has discussed her experience with dressing modestly. In May 2021, Jinger opened up about making the choice to break free from the rules of her upbringing. Jinger Duggar's book Becoming Free Indeed, biggest revelations about her cult-like upbringing, marriage, Josh Duggar's scandal and more. My mom had always dressed us girls in skirts and dresses, a standard that was taken from Deuteronomy 22:5, which says, "A woman shall not wear a man's garment," she wrote in her second book, The Hope We Hold. Modesty was a huge topic in our house, and we believed that wearing skirts instead of pants was a central part of being modest. But I wanted to discover for myself what the Bible had to say. Jinger explained that she started digging into the deeper meaning behind familiar passages of scripture after she married Vuolo, 37, in 2016. She realized that modesty isn't only about what you wear but is also about the position of your heart. Jinger also never found a passage specifically forbidding women from wearing pants. Last year, Jinger recalled the first time she wore pants around her parents. "The first few times I went back home, I was not wearing pants. I wore a skirt just to honor them," she said on the Unplanned podcast. "That's a big deal for my family, and my heart is not to rub anything in anyone's face and be like, I'm doing this. I'm doing my own thing. It's not to make them mad." Duggar family's dress code left Jinger Vuolo unable to swim. Jinger Duggar Vuolo spends much of her time out and about in Los Angeles in jeans and sneakers. Her fashion choices today are markedly different from the Duggar family dress code she had to abide by as a child and young adult in Springdale, Arkansas. While most of the world saw the Duggar family's style of dress as a bit goofy and over the top, Jinger recently revealed that the clothes she wore as a child and as a young adult prevented her from learning to swim. In her recently released book, People Pleaser, Breaking Free from the Burden of Imaginary Expectations, Jinger revealed the ultra-modest swim dresses she and her sisters wore left you petrified of the water. Jinger Duggar reveals her family's dress code left her afraid of the water. The Duggar family's strict dress code was the focus of several episodes of the family's initial series, 19 Kids and Counting. How they dressed to swim was of particular interest. The Duggar boys were allowed to wear swim trunks and t-shirts or wetsuits to swim. The Duggar daughters, however, were forced into long swim dresses. The loose-fitting garments would impede even the most seasoned swimmer from taking a lap. The long dresses, with high necks and long leggings underneath, weren't just uncomfortable to swim in, insists Jinger. In her book People Pleaser, Jinger Duggar revealed that the family's strict dress code left her petrified of the water. The dress code prevented her from learning to swim because she felt like she was sinking. She pointed out that the physics of the swim dresses just didn't work. Jinger divulged that she only started to rectify the situation and learn how to swim when she changed her style of dress and accepted athletic wear into her life. She also had to learn to let go of her embarrassment to get started. She revealed a friend had been helping her learn to swim in the privacy of her backyard pool. There isn't an uncomfortable swim dress in sight, though. What do the Duggars wear to swim now? The Duggar family's dress code was updated as they gained a following and more money. Once married, the Duggar daughters and several Duggar daughters-in-law ditched the dresses and skirts. They regularly opt for pants and even shorts now. But what exactly do they swim in these days? Most of the married Duggar daughters have dropped the Duggar family's swimming dress code in favor of more traditional, albeit still modest, swim attire. Joy Anna Forsyth shared photos of a girl's trip to the beach in 2022. She opted for swim shorts that ended above her knee and a tank-style top. Jessa Seawald has also shown off her swim attire on social media. She opts for board shorts and a sleeveless shirt for lounging in a pool. Jill Dillard even featured some modest but functional swimsuits on Instagram. Related. Jinger reveals she has no contact with convict brother, Josh Duggar. While Jinger hasn't shown off a swimsuit collection to the public, she seems dedicated to having the right gear and apparel to complete a task. Surely, learning to swim, even as an adult, is a much easier task now that she's ditched the painfully billowy swim dresses. Her youngest siblings aren't as lucky. Last year, several Duggar family members documented the family's beach vacation. The married Duggar adults wore more mainstream clothes at the beach. Still, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar's minor daughters were captured wading in the water in the garish swim dresses. Read the original article from. Jinger Duggar recalls how dad Jim Bob had multiple jobs he was juggling amid family's reality TV fame, exclusive. Much of Jinger Duggar's upbringing was captured on her family's popular reality television series 19 Kids and Counting and its spin-off Counting On. Yet, not all aspects of their story were unveiled on screen. In her newly released book, People Pleaser, Breaking Free from the Burden of Imaginary Expectations, Jinger opened up about how the famed Brood's budget was really tight when she was growing up. So much so, they were unable to dine at fast food restaurants. She even reflected on an experience at a Taco Bell, where she and her siblings were extended kindness by a family who recognized their financial situation and ordered food on their behalf. Looking back on her upbringing further, Jinger, 31, recalls her father, Jim Bob Duggar, being a hard worker. Related, Jinger Duggar had loved ones who were very unkind when her book exposed her family's church, exclusive. He took on so many jobs. The car business, the towing business. He would do real estate, she tells People. He tried to do all the things. He had multiple jobs he was juggling for so many years. Of course, the show was a blessing to provide for our family, but he still was working in real estate and all of those things, she continues. He worked so hard and really taught us to have a hard work ethic, too, because he wanted all of us to have skills, life skills too. Despite stressing the importance of a good work ethic to his children, Jinger notes that she and her siblings were not encouraged to go to college, which was something, I think, more so in the Bill Gothard teaching, that was maybe a lot of it wasn't spoken, but it was known that you weren't encouraged to go that route but to go more of the entrepreneur-like route. She says, referencing the minister of her former controversial church, the Institute in Basic Life Principles, IBLP. I think that with that though, their heart was always to make us realize, okay, we want you to be diligent, disciplined, hard workers, provide, she continues of her parents. Though things weren't perfect, Jinger points out that her family's lives did turn around a lot after the show. Related, Jinger Duggar Vuolo is pregnant, expecting baby number 3 with husband Jeremy Vuolo. We're super excited. Exclusive. It did provide more flexibility for us, just like a little sigh of relief, because then my dad was not having to take on as many jobs and it was like a blessing, she says. I think that, yeah, we were very grateful when that came along, and yeah, I think it changed a lot. The family's time on reality television concluded in 2020 after the final season of Counting On aired. The series was cancelled in 2021 after Jinger's brother Josh Duggar was arrested and later convicted of knowingly receiving and possessing child pornographic materials. Before Josh's legal scandal emerged, Jinger says her family had considered leaving the whole TV side of things for a while just because after so many years, it just starts to be like, in a reality show, you feel like you filmed everything that could be filmed. She and her husband, Jeremy Vuolo, also wanted privacy for their children. When the show ended, it was strange. I felt like there was a bit of, and I don't even know how to say it, maybe an identity crisis, because that's all you knew. It was like, this is my job. This is what I do. This is just it, she explains. The hardest